Hi guys, it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I'm excited to be doing another battle style video, but also it's kind of gonna be get ready with me style too. My friend Brodie in the comments suggested I do a half face high-end, half face drugstore look, and I don't have a lot of dupes in my collection. I try and declutter my collection regularly and keep that from happening. So I scoured my collection and came up with 2 baskets of similar products, and we're gonna see how the drugstore and high-end compare today. So let's zoom in and get started. So I don't have any primers that are similar between drugstore and high-end, so I'm just going to take my SPF and use it as a primer. This is from Paula's Choice. It is tinted, and it is the Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense Broad Spectrum SPF 30. It's just a good way to protect the skin from the sun and also prep for makeup. And I don't have a huge primer collection, so unfortunately we can't battle those out today. While that sinks in, I'm gonna do my eyes. So to prime my eyes, I'm taking concealer. I am taking the Milani Conceal and Perfect and the Benefit Boing Concealer. So I think my left side is going to be the high-end side, and then the right side is going to be the drugstore side. And where'd my sponge go? Okay. And I'm just going to use one sponge. I'm not going to switch back and forth in between tools. And just pat that concealer out. Clearly the Milani spread a lot better than the Benefit, so I'm going to add a little bit more Benefit just to cover the whole area. Alright, eyes are primed. So I pulled 2 rainbow palettes to compare against each other. I have the Tarte Let It Rainbow palette, which is a mini palette that they came out last year in collaboration with, gosh, who was it? It was a collaboration. I don't remember who with. And then the Trendy in Tokyo palette from Beach Cosmetics, which is a slightly larger rainbow palette. And I think I want to do something like blue and yellow. So I'm going to take the shade from the Tarte palette called Go For It right here on a fluffy crease brush, and just pop that all in the transition area and then blend it out. And then I'm gonna wipe the brush off and go in with Karaoke in the Trendy in Tokyo palette with the same exact brush and do the same exact thing. And these aren't exactly the same yellow tones, but like I said, I don't have exact dupes in my collection very much. I try and keep that from happening. Looks similar enough. Alright, then I'm going to take a dirty brush that I just wiped off, but it looks really dirty, and dip into this orange shade all in. And this is just like a more tapered, pinched blending brush. And I'm going to put that on the outer corner, and then I'm just going to take that fluffy brush with no additional product and blend the yellow and the orange together. And then I'm going to go into a mixture of Trendsetter and Sushi to try and get the same effect on the other eye. Pretty close. Alright, and then for the blue, I'm going to take a flat shader brush, and I'm going to go into this shimmer shade Happening right here, and I think I want to wet it, so I just have my Olay Ultimate Hydration Essence. patting that all over the lid space. And wipe the brush off. And then go into Lively right here. Wet the brush again. And then I'm going to go over the edges with the fluffy brush. Just to make this a little more cohesive, I am going to take from this palette on both eyes, Mount Fuji, on my finger. It's this dark metallic pink, and I'm just going to pop that right in the space where the orange and the blue meet to kind of transition them. I know that's a little bit cheating, but I really want this look to be cute. And I think that looks so much better to have something to blend the blue and the orange together a little bit. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the upper lash line, but I did grab two liners to compare. So we have the IT Superhero liner and the Maybelline Hyper Easy liner. They are both like fine black brush tip liners, and I like them both, so let's try them out. Start with the Highend eye. Sorry I'm not talking during this process. Doing a wing requires a lot of focus, and this wing needs help. Good thing I grabbed the makeup wipes to clean up that outer edge, because that is not a good wing. Alright, and then the Hyper Easy liner by Maybelline. I believe this is a newer release, and I have been loving it. It's pretty smudge proof too. Like, it holds up pretty well through my watery eyes. I super love that because my eyes tend to water and take away chunks of my wing. Oh yeah, this wing was so much easier than that other wing. Based on just initial application, I think I like the Hyper Easy better than the IT Cosmetics, and I've been loving the IT Cosmetics for a long time. But maybe it's time to retire the IT Cosmetics because I have had it in my collection for a long time. And liquid products do go bad. Okay, now I need to fix this wing because it's all short and stubby. I think that looks slightly more symmetrical. Wings are one of the trickiest things. I forgot I don't have dupes for brow products, so I'm gonna go off camera and do my brows, and then I will be back to do the face. Okay, I don't know if I filled or if I set this to the same level as Zoom, but I hope it's close enough. But I just filled in my brows with the Goof Proof Brow Pencil. I did have a L'Oreal one that was similar to this, but I used it up, and I was like, I don't need two of the same brow pencil in my collection, so I didn't repurchase. But the L'Oreal one is super similar to this, and I definitely recommend it. For the base, I am comparing one of my all-time favorite foundations to a newer release from Revlon. This is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue, and I have the shade Vanilla 02 and the Candid Glow in 120. And I'm just going to pump this on my face. Oh, wrong side. Because I like to just draw this on my face. And then I'm going to just bounce that out with a sponge. So as you can see with the sponge, the Complexion Rescue is really light, natural, and dewy. The Candid Glow shade is a bit lighter. I got it in the winter, and I have seen the sun a little bit just driving in my car. You know, you see the sun through the car window, so it's a little pale for me right now, but because it's so sheer, it does blend in just fine, and I think the finish is pretty comparable. Okay, so now I'm going to be comparing two contour products, the Fenty Beauty Amber Matchstick and the Milani Contour and Highlight. I actually have had this as a backup because I've been like running low on the Fenty for a while, but now's a good time as any to open it. So they are both cream contour sticks that are light and cool toned. The Milani does have a liquid highlighter on the bottom, but let's just get started. And I know I said this was going to be get ready with me style, and I'm so sorry that I haven't been chit-chatting. I've just been talking about the products, but like there's been a lot more to talk about the products than I thought there would be. Let me know if you guys would like to see a makeup and checkup where I basically babble about my mental health and how I've been, because there's definitely been a lot going on in that front, and I have a lot to talk about if you guys are interested in hearing it. I know it's been a while since I've checked in with you guys. There's definitely a lot to talk about that I don't think will fit in this video, so I think I'm just going to stick to talking about the products. And let's just blend this out. The tones on these contours are pretty similar. I would say the Amber one by Fenty is just a bit more cool toned, but they're so similar, and I think I actually prefer the tone of the Milani one just a little bit more. It's a little bit more neutral versus cool, and it looks a little bit more natural on my neutral skin tone. Alright, so we have and I drop it. We have contours, so now I'm gonna conceal. I'm gonna take a little bit of the Benefit Bling under this eye and a little bit of the Milani under this eye, because I think I'm keeping it straight. Left is Highend, right is Drugstore. And I'm just gonna take a less dirty side of the sponge and blend that out. As you can see, the Benefit one, a little bit goes a long way. It's super high coverage. Like, wow. I think this is my most high coverage concealer that I have. I'm not a big high coverage concealer person, but when I want high coverage, that's what I go for. The Milani is definitely high coverage, but I feel like the finish of it just looks a little bit more natural than the Benefit, or maybe the shade just isn't as stark, but my under eyes look pretty similar right now. And I'm just taking whatever excess and running up the center of my nose. And because the Milani is a little bit closer to my skin tone and this blemish is on this side, I'm just gonna take a little bit of that concealer, just a little bit of my contour. This is a trick I learned recently, I think from Jamie Page, to kind of mask it without like messing up your contour. Like blend the concealer with the contour on the back of your hand, and then I'm just going to go over that and blend it in with my sponge. And that's as covered as I want to get, because these foundations are a lighter natural coverage anyway, so like stuff is gonna peek through, but I just wanted to make the contour a little bit more smooth and natural. And what next? Okay, so I do have two powders for my under eyes. So I have the NYX banana powder and the Bite beauty powder. These are gonna look crazy different because the Bite powder, it kind of darkens my under eye a little bit. This is in the shade Light 2, and I like to just press it in with my beauty sponge to help with any creasing, and it really makes that area look perfected. And The NYX banana powder does the opposite. It brightens, and I like to apply this with a brush. This is the 40 HD Kabuki from Sigma, and I like to pack it on and then take a fluffy brush and just dust the excess away. So obviously this under eye is definitely brighter than this side, but they're both set. So to make them a little bit more even, I'm just going to, now that you've seen the difference, I'm just going to brighten this side with the banana powder just a little bit. Everything keeps rolling off my table. I just lost my sponge, and I'm just going to press some powder in to this side so that they're similar, because I don't want to look like a completely crazy person. And then just dust away any excess powder, and there, nice and perfected under eyes. And I'm not gonna powder the rest of my face because these bases set down pretty well, so I'm just gonna go in with my face products. I have two similar bronzers, the Invisible Bronze from Bare Minerals, which I think they're discontinuing unfortunately, but it's a nice baked shimmery bronzer, and then the 01 Lumi Bronze It from L'Oreal. So as you can see, they're fairly similar. And I'm first going to go in with the Bare Minerals bronzer and start on my cheeks. Jesus Christ. Sorry, just everything is falling off this freaking table. I don't understand. And the finish of it, like, even though it's a shimmery bronzer, it looks so skin-like. I love it. And the L'Oreal is pretty similar. It's just a little bit darker. So I'm just going to wipe that same brush off and swirl in with the L'Oreal and do the same thing. Just focus on my cheek and forehead and my jaw. Honestly, I can't tell too much of a difference, except, like I said, this one's a little bit deeper. And then for blush, I grabbed a couple options. I try not to have dupes in blushes because I have so many blush options. So I grabbed the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur in Blurred Buff, which is this nude right here, and it's a like putty formula, like cream to powder. And then I grabbed the nude Almay Healthy Hue blush, which is a bit more pinky, and then the blush in Bespoke from Essence, which is a bit more brown. But they're all nude blushes, so I'm trying to decide like which two, or I think the Almay one is more similar to the Blurred Buff one, so that's the one I'm going to go with. So first of all, I like to apply this type of formula with my sponge, so I'm just gonna go in with the big end of my sponge and just stamp this formula on. This is the Blurred Buff, and that looks really nice and natural, even though I kind of really packed it on. And then to get a more diffused look like the Blurred Buff, I'm going to take a softer, fluffier brush for my blush. This is a Ulta brush, and go into the Healthy Hue blush by Almay and just swirl that on lightly to hopefully get a similar effect without being too strongly blushed. See, that looks pretty dang similar. I think I maybe just need a little bit more color on the apple, and then I'll just do the tip of my nose in this, because I love a blushy tip of the nose. It makes me so happy. For highlighter, I have been mentioning this dupe that I have in my collection for a long time. It is the Dior Nude Air Luminizer in 001, which is my holy grail all-time favorite highlight, and the On the Cusp Super Shock highlighter from Colourpop. That took me a second to say Colourpop. Even though one is more of the cream to powder formula and one is definitely a powder formula, I feel like the way they look on the skin is almost identical. So I'm gonna swatch them for you and then we're gonna see if I am right. So they're both a very nude tone. First I'm gonna go in with the Nude Air Luminizer and my Sigma F03. And just pop that on the cheekbone and drag it down into the blush because you know I like to just blend it all together. Then I'm gonna take my sponge with the Colourpop one because that's my favorite way to apply these Super Shock highlighters, and do the same thing. I feel like this one is more metallic, but the tone is almost exactly the same. So I'm just going to take the Dior one down my nose because I love a good nose highlight, and Cupid's bow and chin because I can't like split the center of my face in half. How do I do that? So for my lower lash line, I don't have colorful liners from Drugstore and Highend, so I'm just going in with the LA Girl Neon Eyeliner in Ice Creamin' or Screamin'. I never know, when I hear other people talk about these eyeliners, they don't say the I, but there's an I there. So is it Ice Creamin' or Screamin'? Ice cream for ice cream, right? I don't know. This needs to be sharpened so bad, but I misplaced my sharpener, so we're just gonna work with it and put that on the waterline because I want a bright ass look today. I am feeling springy and summery. Oh, I almost forgot brow gel. I don't have brow gel in the same shade. Like I have a light blonde one from NYX and then I have a dark one from Benefit. So I'm just taking the light one from NYX on both brows because, like I said, I really don't have dupes in my brow products right now. And I like to add, like on brows that I've darkened, a lighter brow gel to kind of give different tones within the brows. Alright, and then on a smudger brush, now that I have the yellow eyeliner laid down, I'm going to go in with the orange shade All In and just blend that out. And I'm going to wipe my brush off and go in with the combination of Trendsetter and Sushi for a similar tone on the Drugstore side. And this comes across, I think, as a little more neon. So my camera overheated while I was doing my lower lash line, and I wanted a cohesive inner corner. So while I was off camera, I just took the yellow shade from my Arcade Glam I Love You So Moshi highlighter palette and put that on the inner corner. And yeah, I just blended the orange like I was showing you, and now I'm going to spray my face and melt everything into the skin. I don't have any high-end sprays, so I'm just taking my Olay Mist. This is the Ultimate Hydration Essence, and severely coating my face and then pouncing the sponge over to really blend everything. And a trick I have found, if you are like in your 30s or older like me and you have fine lines on your forehead, to make sure you blend out any creasing that may have happened while you were doing your makeup. Just lift your forehead a little bit and tap it out with a sponge, and that fixes everything after you have sprayed, of course. And then we just have mascara and lips. So for lips, I didn't really have any lipstick dupes, so I got a lip liner and a gloss from Highend and Drugstore. The lip liner is the MAC Boldly Bare, and then the J-Cat Puce, and they are both just very light nude lip liners. It's hard to talk and line your lips. This one's definitely more of a pinky tone, but definitely a nude liner. And then this one is a Twist Up by J.Cat. It's really nice and affordable and almost identical, and it's just a little bit creamier. So you can get a 12 pack of these from Amazon for like $1 a lip liner. It's a really good deal if you are looking for just to get started with multiple variety of colors of lip liner. I highly recommend getting the 12 pack of the J.Cat lip liners off of Amazon, but I do enjoy the MAC one. So for glosses, I have the L'Oreal Infallible in Dulce de Leche. This has been stated to be a dupe for the Fenty Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow, I think it's called, but I don't have that one. But I do have Eggnog from Too Faced, which is from their holiday line. And as you can see just in the tube, these are very, very similar. So very wet looking on that side. Let's do the other side. This one is just slightly lighter and more like glittery metallic. I don't know if that's coming across. Like this half of my lips is definitely just a tad lighter, but I'm just gonna tap out the center to kind of blend them together so it doesn't look too weird. And it's pretty much the same lip. Alright, the last step is mascara. So first I'm going to curl my lashes. I would do falsies because I've actually been really into falsies lately, but I don't have any like similar drugstore and high-end lashes, so I'd look really wonky. So I'm just going to do mascaras. I have the Milani Highly Rated and the Benefit Roller Lash. I don't know if they're similar at all. They are just the two mascaras I have open at the moment, and I think it's wasteful just to open more mascaras that might be dupes for each other, if that makes sense. So we're gonna see how Milani and Benefit compare today. I do love the roller lash, but I prefer the Bad Gal Bang, and I definitely am planning on repurchasing the Bad Gal Bang when I am out, or when like I feel like this one's too old. But this one is nice, you can see the difference. And then the Milani Highly Rated has the bristly kind of brush that I'm not a fan of. Oh shoot, and it already got on. There we go. It's so messy. Oh my. It's really wet and messy, so application is definitely a bit harder, and I feel like I have to like hold still so I don't like blink and make a mess everywhere. But I think the effect on the lashes is not too different, so kind of comparable. Alright, and this is the completed look with half high-end, half drugstore. Out of what I had in my collection, not even trying to like buy and purchase dupes on purpose, I was just working with what I have, and honestly I am so shocked how complete my face looks. Like, I didn't realize I had so many freaking dupes. Like, besides the highlight being slightly more blinding, like I don't think there's any major differences between my look. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below whether you prefer the drugstore side or the high-end side, or you know, whether you think one product performed better than the other. I'd love to hear your opinions, and thank you again so much, Brodie, for suggesting this video. This was actually really fun to do, and it was a huge challenge to search through my collection and find similar products that were both drugstore and high-end. So I will have her channel linked down below if you would like to check her out. And thank you guys so much for watching. Do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.